In terms of art, I've been drawing for the longest time, from since I was a kid. I've always loved art. I remember seeing my dad draw, and that's what inspired me to actually start, like take up a pencil and actually draw. But then when I wanted to study art, we all know the Nigerian parent syndrome where they're saying, study law or medicine. So I went that route and absolutely abandoned art. And I had that imposter syndrome, like I didn't go to art school, so I can't study art. So fast forward till like 3 years back, I just felt that craving to create. And I just sat down and started exploring and just drawing every day. And then at some point, I actually forced myself to do an Instagram challenge called the Daily Sketch Challenge. And no matter what, I came back home and I was drawing every day. And just from there, like I just started having this confidence and started having this visual in my head of something that I could create that was part of me. And it just led down this route of me trying to express myself. And I started getting inspiration from like tattoo art. I loved the lines and the detail and the dot work. And then I also felt that I was drawn to the spirit of the African woman, which I truly identify with. And so just that and seeing other artists and their work inspired me to just come up with the Afro Goddess series, which you see is a black and white monochrome style that I have. And that's just the story. A lot of people think I'm a full-time artist. I'm not full-time. I'm a part-time artist. I'm also a user experience designer. So outside of my day job, I have a window of about 2 to 3 hours every day to create. And so each one took me about a month to finally complete. And the thing is, my job requires sometimes that I travel. So sometimes people see me in the airport, on the airplane, hotel rooms. I'm like carrying the work around and just making sure I keep on expressing myself through it. So I partnered with 4 creative girls, and what they are is a community that's trying to bring together women of creative, should I say descent, together so that we can all know that we have a place in the creative community. And it's basically a workshop to help, other people came, but it was mostly for women to help them embrace their creative confidence. And this came from a place in my life when I would go to workshops or I would step into client meetings and like I was the only woman. And not that just to make this a sexist thing in any way, but I just felt that, uncomfortable that there weren't other people like me in the room. And I realized that the reason why that was is because it's just something that's happened through history. When I started out and I wanted to be an artist, I didn't have any female artists to look up to. So I just wanted to make sure that I did this workshop for them to understand that, you belong here. You have a place, your stories do matter, and we need your voice too in the narrative. I make sure I put myself in places that inspire me 24/7. I literally have a mood board of things that inspire me. I'm inspired by the story of African women. I'm inspired by the story of resilience. I'm inspired by how other artists, despite the challenges of like no light or no art supplies, still create. I'm inspired a lot by God, and I take a lot of time every day to meditate and listen to the messages He wants me to put out. So as long as I'm putting myself constantly in that mindset, I feel like I'm never gonna lose steam. I'm actually looking into sculpture. I've never sculpted in my life, but I just feel this desire to use my hands and do things with it. So I'm hoping in the future that I can explore sculpting, and I'm hoping to show more in galleries and really put out more work than I did the last year. I think I've come up with a formula around my day job to actually be able to create more. My message to any artist. And I say artist because the first struggle I had starting out was that I didn't embrace the fact that I was an artist. It was hard for me to say that because I didn't go to art school, I'm not an artist. I want everybody to know that every human being, for as long as you're walking, breathing, you are an artist and you can create whatever you desire. My message to you is to fearlessly create. Create without judgment of yourself. Create without fear, because it's sure letting go of exactly what you feel that originality comes out. And just have fun. Have fun.